Son shit, y'all ready?
I hope y'all are. This episode, woof. Y'all know what we do. I told y'all in February how we was coming, and we was gonna come with it. Come with it. It is white people history. And what we gonna talk about is Jim Crow. Ooh wee. We didn't do last week's joint. Everything kind of fell apart for last week, so we're a week behind, and it's all good because I didn't know what I would do anyway last week, and then it was so much stuff going on I definitely should have talked about, we wanted to talk about, but this is it, man. Jim Crow. This is definitely the week after the Super Bowl, and I don't want to talk about the halftime show too much because I've said everything I wanted to say, and I will say this much, and I will say this much again. Between the two halftime shows, there was a stark, drastic, almost immediate difference between the two. One was inclusive, one was celebratory, one was like, yo, we are all in this together. There's nothing different between what you do and what we do. Don't let our language be the barrier that keeps us from uniting. And then there was the other one. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just heartening to see people still try to figure out a way to justify not liking what they saw, and which is cool. America is now showing that we've never changed. You know, we haven't changed. We have not progressed. Watching what Trump has done to basically peel back everything. Let's repeal all this. Let's get rid of all that. Let's take it back. Because as of right now, it feels like he's done everything except for re-implement segregation. And I saw him a while back talking about he did the greatest things for black people and black people love him and how black males voted for him and his numbers was high and boom, boom, boom. And he went to these universities and he was the guy who was telling people that, yo, blacks are the backbone of the country. Yet, at the same time, single-handedly repealing a bunch of stuff, knowing that if it was up to the companies, it would always be a white boys club. You know what I'm saying? It would be like watching Mad Men. That's what this country has ultimately become. It's become that. It's become something where you could see to want to reverse everything and fall back into this place of weirdness is crazy, son. Like when you think about what this country has done, when you think about where this country has been, and you're like, oh no, they're good with going back to back in the day. But again, I feel like the Super Bowl show with Bad Bunny was dope. It was great. And like I said, I can't say any more than I've been saying, so I'm not. But what I will say is, I saw the thing with Megyn Kelly talking to Pierce. And this is what caught my attention, probably for all the wrong reasons, but it caught my attention nevertheless. And I just watched it. I watched the clip over and over again, and I'm like, yo, that's the beauty of America. She is the example of America. She is the example of everything that's crazy about America. Here's the clip. I want y'all to hear this. I want y'all to hear this right here, please, and we will talk about this.
So I got up this morning and I watched it all without reading anything about it. I just thought I want to watch this completely clean without anyone's view contaminating my brain cells. And I watched all 15 minutes of it. And I've watched every halftime show going back 30, 40 years. I thought as a piece of theatre, it was the best I've seen. Just the most extraordinary kind of Broadway on steroids piece of theatre. I also thought it wasn't remotely divisive politically in the end. His Grammys speech was, but his performance, I thought, was actually a lot of things which I would have thought people on the conservative right would applaud. It was about love. A couple actually got married, for real, in the middle of it. He was preaching about unity, not just the United States of America, but the wider Americas. What was the problem, Megyn?
A certain male gesture is coming to mind, but I'm not sure I can do it on this show. No, it wasn't about what he was actually going to do during the middle of the Super Bowl performance. It's about him. It's about him being chosen as the Super Bowl performer, somebody who's been an outspoken critic, of course, of the Trump administration and of America and our anti-immigrant policies. This is long before the current controversy over ICE. He doesn't want illegals deported from this country. Well, too bad, because the majority of Americans do want that and are not shy about pushing for it, and that's why President Trump got elected. So he and his little buddies over at Green Day never miss a chance to bash the United States of America. He got selected because Jay-Z, for some reason, has got the choice over who performs at our Super Bowl, who's another problem. Don't even get me started on his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. Why is he choosing who's appropriate for American children to watch during our seminal sporting event? And I'm sorry, Piers, but to get up there and perform the whole show in Spanish is a middle finger to the rest of America. Who gives a damn that we have 40 million Spanish speakers in the United States? We have 310 million who don't speak a lick of Spanish. This is supposed to be a unifying event for the country, not for the Latinos, not for one small group, but for the country. We don't need a black national anthem. We don't need a Spanish-speaking, non-English performer, and we don't need an ICE or America hater featured as our primetime entertainment.
Okay, what is the national language, officially, the national language of the United States of America?
I mean, English. And there's been a push for many years to make it an official
you don't have one.
Documented thing.
You don't have one.
If you would have let me finish my comment, I would have pointed that out, but people have been pushing to make it official.
Okay,
right,
so you're trying to make official.
This attitude that you have right here is why you in Great Britain have lost your culture. You ceded your culture to a bunch of radical Muslims who came in and took over, and now it's gone. We're not allowing that here. Whether it's Hispanic, whether it's Muslim, it's not happening in the United States of America. That's why President Trump was elected. And whether it's Bad Bunny, who is American but refuses to speak English in his performances, or anybody else, we have to keep the Super Bowl, which is a quintessential American event. Football, that kind of football, is ours. They call it American football. And the halftime show and everything around it needs to stay quintessentially American. Not Spanish, not Muslim, not anything other than good old-fashioned American apple pie. There should be a meatloaf, maybe some fried chicken, and an English-speaking performer. That's what the Super Bowl should be.
Yeah, And the crazy part is she said all this out loud. And she know what we know what she's saying. And that's probably, so look, it's going to be a bunch of people going, I don't see nothing wrong with that. There's a whole lot wrong with that. Here's the thing about that. She says to Piers Morgan, that's why you lost your culture. What's American culture? Anybody. Ask anybody, what is American culture? What is it that we have done? You know what American culture is? The melting pot. That's America's whole thing. It has been back in the day, back when they were trying to invite people to come over, back when they were grabbing people to come over, even though most of the European whites didn't want the Dutch, the Germans, all this right here, the Scandinavians, the Russians. They didn't want none of that, the Irish, the Scottish. They wanted none of that. You know what I'm saying? And if they thought they could ship off all the blacks and exterminate the remainder of the Native Americans and move the Spanish people back down to Mexico, they probably would. They wanted none of that. They got it. And then it became, we're a melting pot. Only because everybody gave in and played by the rules. I don't know if y'all understand what I'm saying. Back in the day, I'm old enough to watch people from India and Africa not change their names. You know what I'm saying? There's a point where a lot of people know a person from India and his name's Bob. His name Henry. I'm like, dude, that don't even sound right. What? And that's the name that they were given. For those that don't know, there was a time where you go get your joint, you become a citizen, and they gave you a name for the public. Like, you could be whoever you are at home with your family, but when you hit these streets, it better be palatable for the average American. And again, I'm not part of the average American. When they say America, they're not counting me. You know what I mean? When she says America, and that's why you lost your culture, America, she's not counting me. You know what I mean? She literally stopped just before she said, when she like the Spanish and the Muslims, and she definitely wanted to go with them black people. You know what I mean? We're not part of that conversation. What America is this massive melting pot that you bring your culture, you establish something, and then it becomes America. They don't want you, but they love the culture. So then, like I said, what is American culture? Anybody. What is American culture? You know what I'm saying? The Super Bowl might be the most positive thing, that in the World Series. Our events, our sporting events, and the way we turn them into these holidays and celebrated moments, that might be it. Because outside of that, everything else is hatred. There's nothing else. Meatloaf is not an American thing. Meatloaf was from the Dutch and all of them people. The Germans and them. Meatloaf is the joint poor people were eating back in the day. It became a big thing in America during the Great Depression, and it stuck around. Fried chicken is a Scottish and slave thing. The Scottish were doing it their way, and the slaves did it their way. And the way I'm assuming, because of the seasoning and the breading, the way that the slaves did it is how it became popularized. That's us. Mac and cheese, that's from France. French fries, that's from Belgium. Our music that we hold so dear, rock and roll, country, folk, black people. Country and folk are descendants of blues, jazz, hip hop. All of that started from black people. You know what I'm saying? That's, again, people that you didn't even want to deal with. And what predates all of that is ragtime. Ragtime. With the piano joints. Yeah, that predates jazz. Black people implemented all of this. Football, as she said, American football. You could trace elements of that going all the way back to Greece. The natives had a form of something like that. You know what I'm saying? It was you took elements of other sports and you made it football, but you took elements from other things and you made it that. Lacrosse. Natives created that. America has the capabilities to be this massive thing, and they just choose not to be. Italian food, Spanish food, Chinese food, rice. They grabbed slaves from certain places in Africa to grow rice. Asians and Africans, that's a thing. What do Americans have? What is the American culture outside of hate and these sporting events? Hate. And I know somebody's thinking to themselves, no. It's hate. We ended slavery. The Klan was born. The hatred they had towards black people, the sadistic stuff they did towards black people were then seen, studied, analyzed, broken down, and then placed in practice by Hitler and the Germans to the Jews. Hate is what we offer. We offer hate. That is an American culture. We like to try to deny it, but it's not. It's hard. The way we almost literally wiped away whole civilizations of Native Americans. You know what I mean? Like when you look, have you ever looked at the map when they tell you what they think, how many tribes were here and where those tribes were, and you see that map filled with various tribes, and at the end of the day now it breaks down to like 7 or 8, 10 at best. A country from one end to the other end, just in what we call the United States, filled with various tribes, have now been wiped down to about 10. Like when you hear people talk about tribes, it's always the same 7 to 8 names, right? It's always the same 7 to 8 names. Everybody and their mama Navajo, everybody and their mama Cherokee, everybody and their mama Sioux, everybody and their mama Apache. Hate. That is an American culture, and she basically put it out there. She refuses to deal with people who refuse to assimilate, to conform. Again, old enough to remember. And I don't even have to be old enough to remember. I just saw a chick's page about a week or so ago. And it was an Asian chick who said she grew up not wanting to be Asian. She dyed her hair. She hung out with nothing but white kids. She programmed herself to not even know her language in her home. When her parents would talk, English, Mom, we're here in America. She's the good one. She is what America wants. Bad Bunny is who they don't want. You see what I'm saying? Boom, boom. America wants everything that we can bring to them that they can profit off of. And they're okay with us becoming part of the process. We're now America. We'll leave all our past behind. We'll leave all our history behind. They were grabbing Native American children and putting them in Christian churches and brainwashing them to forget their heritage. Languages are lost purposely because that's not American. You know what I mean? It's a wild joint. They went out here and told you the Russians, the Italians, the Irish, the Scottish, the German, the Dutch, the Scandinavians, all of these, the Swedish, all of these people weren't good enough for America in the 2020s and the 2030s. When they started realizing they really need whiteness, they became okay. It became, you are now part of the Americas. Somebody's grandfather is old enough to go, hey, I remember when my granddaddy couldn't stand the way we were treated in this country. Things have changed. Don't get it twisted. I get it, things have changed and I adapted, but I'm old enough. My grandfather was treated horribly in this country. You know what I'm saying? It's not that long ago. There are people who can still remember no blacks, no Mexicans, no Irish. American culture is truly this thing where everybody brought their something to the table and we flourished together and we flourished as one. The problem is European white descendants keep this mentality of they're here, everybody else is under us, and we're the betterment. That's what the fight is. That's what's always the fight. That's always the fight. When she says to keep America, she means keep America white. That's all that is. That's what she means, and people feel it. Like that little village they got where they're doing their thing, like we've got our own place, our own white town. Yeah, we come up with, they're trying to come up with their own music. They have to, because everything that they've listened to was created by black people. They have to come up with their own foods, because most of the foods that they eat were created by other people. Most of the dishes that they have become accustomed to are created by other people. A black chef is the first person to bring mac and cheese to America. That was also, again, created over there in France. So now you can't even eat mac and cheese. The hamburger, the cheeseburger, the burger, German dude out there in California, he created that. He's not part of that whiteness that you guys, he's not part of that pure white, so you can't even count him. What is American culture other than what it is? Have y'all ever paid attention to the Christmas tree? The Christmas tree is not even an American thing. The Christmas tree was something that they were doing overseas, and when those people came over here, and America liked it. So when she's like, yo, we don't want to end up like those countries, you have already ended up like those countries. You're just too blind to understand and open your mind to we're all one. We are one. We're here now. We've been here for centuries. We've been here for decades for other people. Everybody has been here. They've done it. They've invested. You go out to some place, you love the music, you love the food, you love the fashion, but you don't love the people. Like, why don't these people just be like us? Because if they were like you, then none of that would exist. Anyway, this is this episode, the Jim Crow. Jim Crow. Thank y'all for listening. You can email or whatever, blackcaesar@gmail, BLACKCEEZAR Gmail. We'll be posting all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Rate this, leave comments, do whatever y'all can do. You know what I mean? But yeah, thank y'all for listening globally, by the way. Thank y'all for listening all over the globe. Last time I checked, Ukraine was listening, Brazil was listening, Russia was listening, China was listening, America always listening. But yeah, thank y'all for listening. Thank you. And this is what we're gonna do. Let's get into what we do. Let's go. Look, I got lost for a minute. But we here. Yes. And I'm behind. But we gone. That was my man, James. Rest in peace. Y'all here. Got that vibe. That's my Philly dude. My OG. That I told y'all was like, he had a chance to get down with Mantronics on a track or some tracks or do some type of project. And he was like, yeah, but they rapper thought he was better than me. So then I had to go in here and son. Yeah, that's a whole nother joint, man. But y'all know what time it is tonight. It's that time of the night where we get right. Tell everybody it's cool, but I'm trying to be polite cause we gon' that was it. Anyway. And I'm also gonna say it cause now it is actually February. Cause like I told y'all, I ain't know how I was gonna do it. But I will start being a little more active. I was waiting for the show. I was like, I'm gonna do the show and then I'm gonna turn it up and be active on social media. You know what I'm saying? Put out like maybe 2-3 clips a day. You know what I mean? And just sit back, relax. I don't know. I can't be one of these dudes who got joints all the time. I don't know how y'all do that. Y'all different. But 2 to 3 joints a day and just vibe. Some podcast stuff, little segment clips, music, videos. You know what I mean? Whatever's whatever, man. You know how we do, man. So check me out. I'm gonna be on TikTok. And unless somebody stole my name, steals my name, y'all will find out Saturday. But we gonna be out here doing it big. But that ain't what we here to talk about. What we here to talk about is because we gotta get ready to get up out of here. Y'all know what we do. Y'all know how we do. And why we do what we do when we do it. I'll keep it to him like, this is true music. My man be thinking to himself how he get into it. How you do it, dog. I had to do it, dog. That's what we doing, dog. Anyway, let's get it down like this. Take it from the top. We gon' take it from the top. This moment in what history. Y'all heard what I did last year. We reversed it. We put it down and we reversed it. I am a master. I am a practitioner of black history. I am trying to understand the craft of other people's history, Spanish, Native Americans, and all that. White history is given to us hands down all day without, any questions, right? I saw a white dude go, man, they ain't got no white history. I'm Italian. Just for the room to understand, for everybody listening. White history is white history. Italian history has a month in America. It's in October. I don't know how he didn't know that, but whatever. Don't get mad at black people for being out here celebrating hard body. Y'all didn't. Somebody ain't telling y'all. That's on you. But anyway, today we gonna get it in with one of the first. Let me stop. No, let's keep the second major bump in the road for free blacks, and that's the Jim Crow laws. The first was the black code that was like running up on people left and right all over the place. Jim Crow was a whole different thing. Jim Crow was just different. Jim Crow actually hit these southern states, and it was like, this is what we do. This is how we, get it in. And they were like, we are going to stop everything. Like everything. Bring the beat back. January of 1865, the amendment to the Constitution abolishing slavery was popped off. You know what I'm saying? And that was what it was, right? During the Reconstruction era, in that over 10-year period, 12-year period, the law started to figure out new ways to do things for the free man. And so then by the 1870s, the Democrats basically regained power of the Southern legislation, and then they came in and was like, boom, this is what we're gonna do. Because they also had the Ku Klux Klan and the White League and the red shirts, and they was all out here banding together, becoming politicians and sheriffs and important people. And while black people were still being elected, there was this hit. There was this something about, nah, son, we can't let these people be out here and get this freedom, you know. And it was that really changed the game. You know what I mean? Like, people were really like, yo, hold on. We cannot allow this to be a thing. So the politicians came together and they came up with the Jim Crow laws. This was just a whole nother thing. Like, they had laws that were it was basically segregation, but then it was also small stuff like, yo, if we catch you over here, you shouldn't be here at this time of night. All kind of stuff was like just crazy. You know what I mean? And it's like, where do you go from that? And everybody was trying to figure out how do you navigate? And for decades, that's what people were doing. The Jim Crow law was so, you know what I mean? There was a point where you could be arrested, beaten, lynched for not addressing a white man or a white woman with Mr. or Mrs. or Ms. in front of it. They were that crazy with it. You couldn't go out here. If you were sick, you couldn't go to this hospital. If you know what I mean, you couldn't go here. You couldn't get this. You couldn't get that. The segregation was so strong throughout the South. Jim Crow was a different beast. You know what I mean? Perpetrated by those who have now gained power as politicians, because their disdain for black people was so strong that they were like, nah, son, we will never see these people as our equal. We will never, forget equal. They would never see these people as human beings. And what do we have to do to come up with a way to show them just how much we don't want them around? But at the same time, we still need them. Weirdly, right? But yeah, man, they was going through all kind of stuff, man. And it went all the way up until like Martin Luther King Day. Like, Martin Luther King and them was trying to abolish the Jim Crow laws. The sit-ins was abolishing, was their protest against the Jim Crow laws. You know what I'm saying? The joint, like it's crazy that our country was just like, nah, son, we are so against this thing that y'all done did, where y'all done gave these black people freedom, that we will go out our way to make laws, make it legal to distance ourselves from them. Bring the beat back. And it was just like, yo, where do you go from there? How do you vibe off of that? How do you move within that realm? But anyway, man, it's crazy, because those laws affected the whole South, the whole Southern region, generationally putting something in your head on both sides. You know what I mean? And yeah, this is what we doing, man. This month, we gonna get y'all white people history. You know what I mean? Because we need to. You know what I mean? We need to put the history out there. You know what I'm saying? It can't always be good. Look, we made airplanes. Nah, son, it can't always be good. You know what I mean? It's some stuff there's things that are totally messed up. Voted for. The Klan had members in the White House, Supreme Courts, judges, sheriffs, police officers, real estate. You know what I mean? Like, yo, it's doctors. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, by now we've all heard Martin Luther King didn't die from the shot. He died from the fact that white doctor was like, nah, we're not dealing with him. That's a different kind of evil, son. That's a different kind of evil. Let's get back into this music. This is one of my joints. Yeah, man. Salute. I can't think of this woman's name. I can't even remember where this woman was at. Soundclick is the site, and she was like, "Yo, give me your music, write the lyrics. I will review your joint." And she did a dope review, and I don't know where I can't find that at all. I don't have a copy of it. I don't know where it is online. But yeah, man. Salute to her. If I ever find it, I will definitely post it with the song. Cause yo, salute. But this is that song that she joined it. She reviewed. One of the better. I personally like this for a lot of reasons. You know what I mean? When I produced it, recorded it, of course, obviously, and was out here still trying to navigate through some joints mentally. You know what I mean? So we was here. Let's do what we do. This is how we get down. This is how we move. Y'all can catch me on social media real soon. Doing what he do, how he do. Plus I got podcasts. I mean 2. One be this joint with the history. The other joint, I'm just talking junk. Seriously. I do it like that. Y'all be like, oh my God, why he do it like that? Luther. Let them know what we do. Cause we gonna keep it right there. Shorty know how I got to peep them right there. I'm not a peeping Tom, I'm just a peeping Caesar. I be peeping people. Man, that sound dirty. Stop right now. That just sound nasty. Let's get to what we do. Legal Crime Radio. Y'all know how we do. Let's go. That's my time. Look, and we stopped on time, but I'm gonna be off time. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's my theme song. That has been my theme song since this record had came out. You know what I'm saying? I always spit whenever the feeling hits me. But if I'ma be doing it till I'm 60, and that's no disrespect to KRS. I'm just trying to make my art and do what's smart. Woo! Hey, boy. Hey, cause that's how I be. That's how I was in November, man. Hearing a couple of my kids' beats, and I'm like, yo, some of this is alright. Let me spit something. And then I got in a zone, and I was like, yo, I just want to spit a little more. Now the feeling is here. I don't know what we're going to do. But we're going to have fun. Because this is what we do. Thank y'all for rocking as always. Yo, we got to find a way for y'all to get at me. And correspond with each other. Connect. You know what I mean? Back and forth. Y'all ask, I answer. Y'all rock, we roll. You know what I mean? But we do how we do. Am I out of control? I keep it popping like that. Cause your boy got soul. Like James Brown or maybe Rakim, Eric B and them. But y'all ain't hearing him. Do it what he do and how he do it. Everybody be like, yo, I like all your music. Is it old? Is it new-ish? I like the joints you be doing. I don't know where that comes from, but it sound good. Anyway, I'm gonna holler at y'all Saturday. First Saturday is a whole week away. Like, it'll be like the 8th, 7th, 8th. When is that? But it's like a whole joint away. But it's gonna be the first Saturday. That's crazy, son. But you know what we do on first Saturdays. All hip hop. Word up. So salute. This is what we do. This is how we get down. Thank y'all for rocking, and I'm gonna get ready to get up out of here and do my thing. And maintain. You know what I mean? But if we show it like this: 1 for the money, 2 for the show. I'ma let them know. It's time to go. They say you only live once. That's a lie. You only die once. So anytime that your God allows you to get out here and continue your journey, please show the world the best version of you. Y'all be safe. Peace.
This is a Soul of Art presentation.